This is Jared Horak for today's RacingDigest.com, and my today's RacingDigest.com video series continues Saturday, January 12th, 2019. We're going to look at a couple of stakes races from Santa Anita. I'm going to give out my top pick for each of those. We're going to begin with the sixth race at Santa Anita, the Grade 3 Las Cienegas Stakes, and they're going to be traveling 6.5 furlongs on the downhill turf course. Now your morning line favorite's the 5 Selcourt, but Selcourt is also entered in the Kalukin Queen Stakes on the main track at Santa Anita Park on Sunday, January 13th. That's a 6-horse field there. They may end up going in that spot. This is a tougher, more competitive field than that 6-horse field, and she's never run on turf. If she does go here, she's going to be a pace factor. She's certainly fast enough and classy enough to win this, but as I said, she's never been on the turf course before. So your favorite could end up being, if she scratches, number 4, Belvoir Bay. Now this one, 4 for 5 on the downhill turf course. And she's coming off a layoff. She runs well with time between starts. Now Flavien Prat's going to ride. She's got running style versatility. If the pace is slower, she can get up closer to the pace. She can rally if the pace is fast. Some other horses to look at in here. Number 9, Painting Corners. Your third choice on the morning line at 3-1. She loves the downhill turf course. She's run well multiple times. She owns early pressing speed and an outer post. That's typically a good way to be successful on the downhill turf course. If you have speed, you have an outer post, you typically can do well, and I think that she has a decent shot in here. She's prominent throughout for sure. Some horses to look at underneath. Number 1, Compelled. She was third to Belvoir Bay in the Monrovia last year, so she handles the downhill turf course. She's a good turf sprinter. She ran well last time out at Laurel on their turf course in a turf sprint. Fiery Lady, number 2, 15-1 morning line. She finished second in back-to-back races on the all-weather surface at Golden Gate in her last couple of starts. But she's at 0 for 10 on all-weather surface. She's 5 for 7 in turf routes, cutting back to a turf sprint. Not sure how she's going to handle the downhill course, but she does like turf. For my value top choice in here, I'm going to go with number 3, Tesora. Now, I made a nice score on this one when she won the Christie Cat Stakes at Belmont Park last September, and she was a 3-year-old filly then, and she got a 137 final rating. That was the best number of her career. Last time out, she shipped to Southern California. She ran in the Autumn Miss Stakes. She just had a lot of trouble in there. She just never really got on track. That was over a route of ground. Now Michael McCarthy trains her. He's 2 for 6 with new additions to his barn. Kent Desormeaux is going to ride. She should be heard from late. She's 6-1 morning line, so she's going to be my value top choice in the Las Cienegas Stakes, race 6 at Santa Anita Park on January 12th. Let's jump to the 8th race. This is the second graded stakes race on the card, the Grade 3 La Cañada, and they're going to be traveling 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Now your morning line favorite here is the 6, Escape Clause. The only problem with her is maybe she's going to be a bit over-raced. She raced 13 times last year. She hasn't had a break between starts in a long time. Her recent form seems to be tailing off a little bit, but that was on the turf recently. She's 16 for 23 on a fast main track. We'll have to see how she ends up running when she's moving back to the main track. We know she handles it, but she could be tailing off right now after a long campaign last year. KP Wildcat is interesting coming in from New Mexico. She won 9 of her last 13 starts in New Mexico, 7 stakes wins. Not sure how she's going to class up on the Southern California circuit, but we're going to find out. I think this race is going to boil down to 2 horses. Number 3, Lamuna. Number 4, True Royalty. Now, number 4, True Royalty, 3-1 morning line. She didn't run well in her last couple, but she's run 1 time on a main track over a route of ground, and that was in the Grade 3 Torrey Pine Stakes, and she won that race. She got a 143 final rating. So she's one that if she can run back to that race, certainly going to be one of the top contenders. But there's another one that looks just as interesting as her, a little bit more of a price, number 3, Lamuna. She's 5-1 morning line. Now she's switching surfaces. She returned from a layoff last time. She ran in a turf race. That was a turf route. I think that was a prep race for this. She was on the outside post that day. Not a bad effort. She was really prepping for this, as I said. Both wins were in dirt routes. Flavien Prat's going to ride. He's 5 for 12 with trainer Richard Baltus recently. And her 2 best numbers were in fast track, main track routes. She got a 128 and a 129 final rating in her 2 most recent dirt routes. So I think she's one that can win this race, and she's going to offer value. So number 3, Lamuna, will be my value top choice in the La Cañada Stakes. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments. Who do you like in these stakes races at Santa Anita Park for Saturday, January 12th? Go over to today'sracingdigest.com if you want the complete digest for Santa Anita Park for Saturday, January 12th, or if you want my full card analysis for the January 12th card. You can also find that at today'sracingdigest.com. That will wrap up this week's video. I'll be back next week with another stakes race from around the country.